Greetings, it is I. We're looking at the floor right now because I'm going to talk about video game boxes, specifically European ones. Specifically with European ones that are either inferior to their foreign counterparts or just downright shit. Because a lot of times Europe seems to get quite boned when it comes to video game boxes, as you'll see throughout this video. So we'll start off tame. This is a Wii U game. You can tell by the way it says Wii U at the top. It looks pretty much identical at first glance until you notice that the spine is completely blue rather than white like it is in the other ones. And they don't use logos, they just use a standard font for it. Yeah, so I would have just preferred to have the logos, to be honest with you. But it doesn't, it's not awful, it's just not as good. Sticking with that same not awful but not as good, we have the PS2 game cases, which, first of all, for some reason, they made the PS2 banner slightly larger for the European ones, which I don't get why. And again, there's no logos on the side, you just have another standard font that they used from the PS1 all the way up to the PS3. Like, they switched it, like, sometime during the PS3's life. Yeah. I mean, they still use that font for, you know, the Platinum versions of games. So, like, for example, PS3 Essentials or the PlayStation Hits on the PS4, they still use that font, but other than that, they use logos. But I will never understand why. And again, inside, it's pretty much identical to foreign ones. Yeah. Also, if it was an earlier PS2 game, it would have a little thing up here for... it'll have a little thing up here for a memory card. But it doesn't because it's a later game. Right, now we're getting into ones I'm starting to dislike, and we're going to begin with two, and that is the PlayStation 2 Platinum games and the GameCube Player's Choice games. Now, there actually is a second design of PS2 Platinum games that I have, which I'll quickly retrieve for you. Oh, I kicked something over. Right, here it is. This is for Resident Evil 4, and again, it looks pretty not good. But yeah, so we'll just stick talking about this one. So, for some reason, they decided that, hey, let's make the entire game boxes silver, have this nice, great big silver border between them. And I will never understand why. And again, of course, they have, like, this, like, silver disc thing where it's like, it looks like a DVD-R, basically. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't know, because I thought the North American one was ugly, like, as well. But, like, you know, with just the burgundy banner on top of a regular PS2 case, and it looks awful. But this is way worse, you know, because this is the entire case. And at least with the GameCube ones, the one thing that they have over it is that they still use the original disc. Maybe this wasn't a great example since Sonic Adventure 2 already had a silver disc, or at least I think it did, because Metroid Prime just had the standard disc. So yeah, that's one thing that the GameCube has over it. Let's move on. We have, yeah, okay, let's talk about this one next. Let's stick with PlayStation and talk about PS1 cases. Doesn't look that bad. I mean, it does say PlayStation on the front 3 times, which I don't really know how necessary that is. But let's take a look at the thickness. Oh! Why does it say PlayStation on the bottom? Oh, it says PlayStation on the top as well. Actually, let's count the PlayStation logos on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 PlayStation logos, and we haven't even opened up the game yet. And on the inside, you've got the game's cover art there, which is just this really tacky-looking white card on the back of it. And then the instruction manuals. And yeah, they are a little bit thicker because they have more languages in them. Or at least I assume it does. Is it only in English? Huh. It's weird. Oh, this one's only in English. Oh, so it's just a really thick manual then. I wish I pulled out Rayman, because Rayman has a comedically large manual, because it's printed in, like, every language that physically exists. But yeah, anyway, let's have a look at... this is a Japanese PlayStation game, and take a look. It's just in a standard CD case. That's all it needs to be in. And take a look, you've got the, again, you've got the PlayStation logos down the sides. Let's count the PlayStation logos on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4, that's half the amount. So, again, let's open it up. Again, you've got the disc, and these ones came with spine cards and stuff. Then there's more stuff written in Japanese, which is a language I don't understand. But you'll also notice that the instruction booklet actually has the front cover printed as the front of the instruction booklet, which is very nice. It saves a little bit of paper. Let's now try and slot this back in, if I ever can. Oh no, it's permanently stuck outside. Oh, we've done it. Never mind. I've got to make sure this slots in place and doesn't fucking fall. Oh my god, I am really starting to get irritated. Hey, we did it. Okay, let's move on. Sticking with the idea of things being overly thick, we have DS cases. Look at that. Look at the size of that. Look at the size of that. Here it is compared to a PS2 case. So that's just a standard DVD game. But look at that. And again, that's what you get inside. You're getting fucking barely anything. You really don't need it to be this thick. I don't get it. And look, again, the instruction booklet. Does this one have multiple languages in it? I would assume it does. Or is it just English again? Huh. Well, there you go. That's even less of a reason to make the game boxes this big. I think some games do have multiple languages. But again, the instruction booklets are never that thick to the size where they're like a bloody novella, where you would have to actually have a larger game box. So I don't get why they make the game boxes larger. And let's keep sticking with that same theme of larger game boxes. The Dreamcast. This is Sonic Adventure. It's cracked a little bit. I mean, hell, at least it's not weak as hell like the bloody PS1 cases were. I mean, look at that. That's my copy of Resident Evil. Look at that. These things just break as soon as you so much as exist near them. At least the Dreamcast ones are a little bit more resilient, but they are even thicker. Seriously, these are about the same size as the DS cases, I think. Look at that. Why? This isn't one of the funny ones that has Dreamcast written 3 times on it, because it says it here, which they all do, but some of them have Dreamcast written across the top there, and then Dreamcast written there as well with the logo. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, let's open it up. And again, you'll see they have that same thing as the PS1 with the artwork held in place there with the white card. And then you got the disc, but the instruction booklets are held in the back and Okay, there you go. I mean, I guess we don't have to see Rayman then, because look at that. If this doesn't have multiple languages, then I don't know what life is. Yeah, let's see. We've got, I think that's French. Yeah, that's French. Then there'll be English as well. We've got German. What other languages are in here? Is there Spanish? That looks like Spanish. So yeah. And we just skip past the English section, I guess. But look at that. See, so I can imagine that they probably would have had to make the game boxes slightly bigger, because I don't even think that would fit in a CD case. But you don't need to make them this thick, because, you know, I think you could probably... Actually, I want to know, can I fit this in the front? The answer is probably a yes. It might not... Wait, oh, is it a no? It's a no. Huh. How about that? But you definitely could have made it slightly thinner, okay? It definitely didn't need to be this thick. Yeah, look at that. And hell, even if it does need to be this thick, you know, even if some manuals were just massive, I'm going to complain about it anyway, because look at the thickness of that compared to... I don't actually have any other Dreamcast games from different regions, so I'm going to compare it to the PS1 game. Look at that. That's the difference in size compared to European and other Dreamcast games. Okay, and now, the one we're coming on to now is absolutely the single worst video game box I have ever seen. Okay, brace yourself, because it's really shit. The European Sega Saturn game boxes. So, first of all, Japanese ones use CD cases, again, and the North American ones use the same cases as the Sega CD, the Mega CD, sorry. But in Europe, we got blessed with this. So, first of all, you've got the artwork really shoddily glued on the outside. You might be able to see that it's coming away a little bit. Like, look at that. And then you open it up, and okay, I haven't got an example with a disc here. Let me go look at this. All right, let's go find an example that has a disc on it, because I need you to see this. Let's have a look. Oh, this is even showing off the example of what I was going to talk about as well. You hear that rattling? That's the disc coming loose, because basically these discs barely stay in place. Like, look at that. That's all that's keeping it in place right there. And the slightest knock, and it just falls apart. Now, again, these ones have got quite large manuals, actually, so, you know, look at that. So I understand why they are this size, because they kind of do need to be this size and thickness. But my god, they are just so shit. They just really are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you've got barely, like, there isn't even a spine to hold the two bits in places. There's actually a video, which I'm going to link in the description, that shows how fucking shit these cases can be, because they are. These are single-handedly the worst video game boxes I have ever seen. So, yeah, that's great, isn't it? There are a lot of other ones that are slightly different, such as the GameCube boxes, because they have the logos on the top rather than the bottom. And I didn't mention those because, other than that, they are virtually identical. So, yeah, anyway. That's it, this video, this little mini rant complaining thing. Thanks for watching. Adios.